If year after year, you're the person that says, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and I'm gonna make it grow, and it's yet another year where you haven't made that happen, oh my gosh, too many takes. Oh, I gotta set this down. Then I wanna talk to you on why in 2025 you need to start your YouTube channel, and secondly, how you can actually make it grow. I'm gonna draw from my experience, break down my numbers, and I'm gonna touch on 3 points throughout this video that are absolutely crucial, but I'm gonna break them down even more to help you truly explain why and how it all comes together. One of those guys in a fancy studio. I'm literally working out in my garage, but to have some credibility with you, because it wouldn't be very hard for you to do some research to see that my channel only has 2,000 subscribers. You could be like, well, why would I listen to this guy? Here's why, okay? I'm gonna show this on the screen. I'm looking at my phone, looking at the numbers. Right now, currently, I have 2,062 subscribers. So again, that doesn't sound really impressive, but here's what is impressing me right now. I am a year in, so let's see. Let me find the screenshot where I started 1 year getting serious about doing YouTube. I had March 25th, 2024, I had 129 subscribers. So year to date, I'm up to 2,062. So basically 1,900 new subscribers in 1 year. That sounds pretty cool. Here's where it gets crazy. You slide the chart over, and 1 month ago, April 1st, not even a full month, we're not out of April yet, I had 1,643 subscribers. Right now I have 2,062, which means when we look at the chart, in the last 28 days, I have 422 new subscribers, I have 1,500 watch hours, and I have 82,000 views just from this month alone. What did I do differently over this last month? Nothing. I just haven't stopped since March 25th, 2024. And what's crazy is the compound effect is that in the last 28 days, a quarter of my entire subscription has shown up, meaning nearly 25% of my sub list happened just in the last 28 days, which tells me that if I continue to do what I've been doing, then I'm gonna continue to see the same type of results. I could see an average of 500 new subscribers, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 new subscribers possibly every month within the next 6 months if I keep doing and compounding the way it is, because each month, last month, I did about 260 a month, and this month I'm at 422. So that compound effect is happening over and over and over. And in a second, I'm gonna touch on the 3 things that I believe have made that happen in the last 12 months. And so far, if you're digging what I'm saying, then go ahead and like and subscribe, right? Okay, so let's talk on the first of 3 things that are absolutely necessary when it comes to making your YouTube channel. All right, number 1, you have 100% heard this and it's been preached to you, both sides of the coin, right? And that is niche. Niche, niche, niche. Niche down. You got a niche, you got to find your niche, you got to find the secret sauce of you, the secret juice. That's one video you're going to watch. And another video is going to say, don't niche, that's dumb, you need to cast your net wide, right? I'm here to bring some wisdom, some experience to all of this, right? So just like you, I'm sitting there, a totally normal human being, right? I don't live in LA, I don't live in Florida, I wish, I grew up there. I live in the middle of the United States, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's super flat, really boring. So I don't have like a cool aesthetic to make it easy to make my videos pop. I don't have a cool studio. My life overall, regularly simple and pretty mundane. Yet, I have some successes, I've had some achievements, I have some interesting things about me. But when I'm thinking about, oh, I want to have a cool YouTube video, I see all those guys, right? Like people that just like, they're so eccentric, their videos, their whole life seems incredible. The people that do travel vlogs, all this stuff, you're like, it was so easy for them to find a niche. What is mine? So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, yeah, like, I don't know, what is mine? I'm like, okay, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I own my own business, I'm 70% healthy, so like I could talk about health stuff. I like to work out. I'm a former pastor, currently still publicly speak and preach. Business is a window cleaning business, so that's kind of specific in particular. I like to communicate. I like to talk. I love to encourage people and inspire people, and I would love if maybe I was just like a full-time coach and I'm helping people in their lifestyle, in their life, making good decisions, whatever. So then I'm like, oh, I have a lot of kind of interesting things about me. So I got to the point where I have collected all this data about myself and thought, okay, so what is it that's gonna help with my YouTube channel? And really, where do I wanna go with my YouTube channel, right? So I hear Gary Vee in my head and he's like, you are the niche, your whole life. It's interesting to other people, which is true. I'm interested in other people and the way that they think and the way that they do things. And so therefore it must make sense that maybe some people would be interested in my life as well. So I start YouTube, and in the past on Instagram and YouTube, I had tried to make videos, kind of talking head videos, right? Where you're just kind of sharing some proverbial wisdom. You're going through 5 lists of here's how to live with purpose. Here's how to be happy. And you know what I found? Nobody cared. No one wanted to jump in on those videos. 30 views, right? In 50 days, whatever. Nobody cared. It didn't matter. And then I pivoted and I started to make some videos about window cleaning, my company, my business. And to be honest, I made a video that I expected to go nowhere, and it is my best performing video. It was one I made last April, right in the beginning of this journey. It was, hey, here's the 7 things you need to start your window cleaning business. And that video has 35,000 views, and I picked up a ton of subscribers from it, and it's still out there collecting data. And I realized okay, because at first I was like, well, I don't want to just be the window cleaning guy. And I was like, well, that is one major part of my whole life, right? And so what I realized over the last year is I kind of began to make more and more window cleaning videos about my business, documenting my journey, whatever. But what was cool is I sprinkled in there, hey, I'm a former pastor, I'm a dad, I'm a husband. Here's my mindset when it comes to growing my business or living financially free or whatever it is, right? So I was niched down to a specific thing talking about my business, which was attracting people on YouTube. But as a whole, I was then talking about all the areas of my life, what I believe, how I thought, how I'm going about a certain challenge, right? And so niche into something that maybe people are interested in. So for you, if you sit down and collect data, write a list, say, hey, what are 10 things about me that are pretty consistent and could be interesting, and then find one that maybe could really pop off on YouTube, or make 10 YouTube videos for each one of the things on your list. Once someone starts to pay attention to that, then you can start to sprinkle in the other 9 things that you like and are interested about, right? So it's not a bait and switch. On my banner for YouTube is, hey, mind, money, movement, health. In the meantime, that's my focus. In the meantime of life, I want to get healthy in my mind, money, and movement. I've niched into talking about my business, but on the whole, I'm going to be talking about all these other things that really matter, that I really care about. And so then what was crazy is that throughout this year, even though there were some months of slow, steady growth, but then now exponential growth over the last couple months, is that I'm beginning to see comments, people jumping over to my Instagram and DMing me and saying, hey, I'm in a really similar spot as you. I was either in ministry, now I own a home service business. Or, hey, I think a lot of the way you do, and I love fitness, but I'm thinking about starting a window cleaning business. Or, hey, I have a sprinkler installing business, and the way you talk really encouraged me to keep pounding the rock, keep moving forward. I appreciate that. So for me, it realized that the way I niched down and then broadly open the doors, which is both, right? It's both sides of the coin. It is getting really particular, but also having a wide net. I'm able to go deep and wide at the same time, right? And so that's my first advice to you on the next 12 to 18 months of your YouTube journey. And listen, I hope that if you start today, you're well past 2,000 in a year. Maybe you're at 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, right? And everyone says well, subscribers don't matter. I think they do. I think it matters because I'm seeing ways that it matters. And so anyway, yeah, that's the first tip, right? Let's move to the second tip. All right, second tip, you've definitely heard this before, just like you've heard the niching one, but this is consistency. Here's why for YouTube, this was huge for me because I've tried really hard on Instagram to do the 3 to 4 posts a day, crushing it, right? Trying to build some organic growth there. But on YouTube, what I did in the beginning was I was basically making one video every other week, every 3 weeks. Even in the fall, I actually had like a 2-month period where I didn't make any videos at all. But the way that YouTube works, everything lives longer, right? I was seeing growth from videos I had made, and YouTube was like, he's consistent enough, so let's keep pushing that stuff. And then I would say probably since January, I've been more consistent, kind of like every other week, every week, within 8 to 10 days, posting a video, throwing some reels in there in between, and just kind of pounding the rock, okay? And so like I would say a 52-week year, if you aimed for, what's half of that? I don't know, 26, right? If you were like, I'm gonna make 26 long-form videos this year, that's really important. It just really is. And I think that's probably the hardest thing to do, is just stay consistent with it, because I already told you how to break down your niche. 10 to 15 things that you like to do, that you're interested in, that you like to talk about. Hone in on all of those. Those are your first 15 videos right there, okay? And then figure out which one that kind of pops up a little bit more and go from there, right? And I understand everyone's like thumbnails and titles. I think that's important. You're gonna figure that out as you stay consistent. Not gonna tarry more on this. You gotta keep doing it, just like working out, just like staying married, just like going to your job. You gotta stay consistent. All right, my microphone is dying, and I really want to crush this in one go, so let's get into number 3. Number 3, you've heard it before, experience, okay? So we've got niche, we've got consistency, we've got experience. Let me talk about it in a way that's a little bit more technical and broken down, okay? Everyone's like, you guys gotta you make 100 videos, you're gonna get better. Well, what does that mean, okay? It means that A, you're gonna get better at editing. You're gonna get better at thinking about a shot before you take it. In the beginning, I just set up the camera, right? As I'm editing those first few videos, I realized, the camera might look better over here. Camera might look better over there. The sun's coming this way. I wanna make sure that I don't have a dark glow on my face. Like, it's things that you learn without even trying to learn, which is the best way to learn. That's why consistency, the niche, is your things you're already interested in, so it's easy for you to talk about it. Consistency is making sure you keep talking about those things. And the third one, experience, is you're gonna learn without even trying to learn. That is the best way to learn. So all of that said, you're then gonna experiment with your experience, because there are times where I put a thumbnail up and it's terrible and I change it just for the heck of it. And all of a sudden I see a boost of 200, 300, 400 new views in that like 12-hour period of the new thumbnail, which proves to me that matters, right? And so your experience is gonna teach you. Also, if you aren't comfortable with the camera, I've spent a lot of time in front of cameras. I've spent a lot of time speaking in front of a lot of people, hundreds, thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands, but groups of hundreds, groups of thousands, and just like 5 to 12 people, which is arguably, in my opinion, even harder. So like the experience of it all is what helps you continue to get better. So my point in the whole video, here's my thoughts, right? Why do we all want to make YouTube channels and have it work? I'm gonna be honest. I love the idea of making money from creating things, content around things that I already do. That looks really appealing to me, because like, yeah, that would be fun to have a lifestyle where it's like, I just get to work out all day. I get to talk about my thoughts, and I get to share some things that I have that I think can help people, right? So that's the second part, is for me, like, I really love the idea of helping people, impacting people. I believe that the world of the generous gets larger and larger. The more you put out there to help others, the bigger your world gets. That's what I'm chasing. That's what I want. And so I think YouTube's a great way to do that. I'm seeing way more growth, organic growth on my YouTube than any other social I've ever tried. And so like, that's why I'm all in on it. And then like I have offers, right? Like I have little coaching offers, courses. YouTube's a great way to get those out. I don't think there's any shame in doing that, because it's hey, I want to help you. And when you buy something from me, it helps me, right? Like that's all the people that we look up to and admire do that, right? Like I got all the rocks, facial cream and soaps, because I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm 32 years old. Should probably start taking care of my skin, right? I like The Rock. I'll get his stuff. So it's just like we connect with people that are like us. And I think that's what's great about YouTube, is like, I'm just a normal dude, right? Like trying to make sure I continue to have a healthy marriage, raise my kids well, build my business, make content, exercise, whatever. YouTube's a great way to do all that. So the 3 things that, like I've said, aren't new to you, but I hope I broke down in a way that maybe you've never heard before, is your niche, You go deep and wide at the same time. Find your 15 things that are interesting about you that you like to talk about. Secondly, consistency, just whatever, some little rule, 1 or 2 videos a week, a month, whatever it is. There's a lot of podcasts out there where I listen to people who are like, I just didn't stop and now I make $30,000 a month from YouTube, right? Like, we know that's there. Third, experience. You just keep doing it. Keep doing it, and you're gonna learn how to get better without even really trying to learn. So with that said, I do hope that this was helpful and maybe a little different than videos you've seen before. Life happens in the meantime. We're all heading somewhere. But in the meantime, let's enjoy the here while we work to get there.